Hi, my name is Maor Appelbaum. I'm a mastering engineer located in Los Angeles. I work with artists such as Faith No More, Yes, Loaf, Starset, Sepultura, Eric Gales, Walter Trout. I enjoy doing mastering for different formats and different eras of music, all styles of music from all over the world, ranging from the most lightest and acoustic and dynamic to the most aggressive and pushed and anything in between. In mastering, I bring an objective and new perspective to the project, and having the experience of being a DJ and a broadcasting engineer and a music journalist gave me a lot of background in how people are consuming the music. It all worked together and aligned me for mastering, which is really what I enjoy the most. In the beginning, when I tried active room correction, it didn't really always work good. Sometimes if you have a good room, maybe it's better to leave it as is, or you really need to tweak it in a way that doesn't touch it too much. So I've knew of Trinnov for a lot of years. It wasn't something that I needed in the older studios, but I still remembered that it's very powerful and you have so many features in it that you can actually tweak. And when we built this room, let's say the lower tier of room correction was not good enough to fix it, and it required more power. After talking to fellow engineers that I know that for years had to use active room correction, they all mentioned that I should try the Trinnov. So I brought in the unit. We tweaked it with the room, made adjustments in, out, gain, all that stuff that's needed. And we got it to sit really good. Fixing that low end was the key to get everything sounding clear. The next day, I already did a record with it, and that record actually got a Juno for Best Heavy Metal and Hard Rock. In my case, tweaking took a long time because we really wanted to dial in, and that goes into even how much input we're feeding the machine, the increments of the input and the output and all that. But that's because that's on a personal level how I work the room. But the initial setup is quite easy. The good thing is I had the guy who already is experienced, so it was much faster. And I would suggest if you have a unit like this, bring someone who knows how to run this, because it's going to take less time. I think a Trinnov can really help a lot of situations. If it's all dialed well with the specs of the room and working the room and your taste and how it responds, the way you work with it translates outside as well, you probably have less revisions in terms of dealing with inaccuracies. Another thing is that you work faster because you're compensating less. You're always compensating in a certain way, but the less you're compensating, the more you can focus on your work. Think of it as a machine. It has the coding that does the calculation, it has the conversion, and it has its whole packaging. It's a plug and play, basically. Right now, I don't know of any other device that does this or any software that does exactly this. It's a lot of things in one box. Well thought, well invested, well designed, and costs. You're working with it all the time. It's like the speakers. You're running music through it. So anytime you're working on a project, you're paying it off. I see it as a good investment for the future as well, because any room I'll move into, I can still use this unit and tune the room.